I'm crying over words on a page, like. This book is just, it's really good. Hi guys, I'm Liv and today we are reading dystopian books. So I have done book challenges before, so the ones I've done so far are 5 emotional books in 5 days, or 7 in 7 days I think. That'll be in the cards now. I've also done reading 4 TikTok hyped books. I'll link that as well. And now I wanted to do reading dystopian books. So the books I have got to read are The Dead by Charliel Higson, which is a part of a series called The Enemy, which is about everyone over the age of 14 gets this virus and it's meant to be like a version of zombies, and these zombies are cannibals who eat their children, and it's very dystopian. It's set in London and this whole different world basically happening, and The Dead is the second book in the series and it's a prequel to the first book. So I've started that, I'm a couple of chapters in, and I thought I should do this video. The next, well, 2 of the other books I'm going to be reading are here, and I included these in my September TBR, so I'll link that up in the cards as well. So we have also got The Fifth Wave, which is by Yancey, which is this one, and I've also got the first book of the Shatter series. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, but it's Tahereh Mafi, I'm not sure. As always, I always put the books and the authors in the description, so you can go check that out and see how to say those names, because I'm not sure if I've said that name right. No, I don't think I have a lisp right now, I think it's gone, but I have started my Invisalign, so from here on out I may have a little bit of a lisp, or I may talk a bit differently. My mouth moves a little bit differently, my jaw position has changed. That's basically why, and that's also why my teeth are a little bit shiny, is because I put my Invisalign in. On the book The Dead, I am currently a little bit into the book. Let's see, I'm on page 64, chapter 11. With this Enemy series, there are a lot of mini chapters. Like a chapter is usually about 4 pages in this book, and that's like really short to me. So we're on chapter 11 already and we're only 60 pages in. There's about 400-ish pages in this book. So far, compared to The Enemy, I'm not really enjoying this one. So The Enemy was very fast paced and there was about 3 different storylines happening at once, and I like that. I love a fast-paced book. I feel like I love to have my attention continuously grabbed and gripped. Like I love to be gripped in a story basically. I don't like to just have to wait. I don't like a slow burn much, which people have said the Shatter series is a slow burn, but I don't know. The Shatter series looks like it's meant to be like a Divergent / The Hunger Games type book, so I'm very excited for that one. But yeah, as I said, I'm not sure about this The Dead yet. It does seem very similar to the first one, and the thing about this series is at first I thought it was very much like the Gone series, which is why everyone over the age of 15 disappeared, and every book is called a different thing, like Lies, Plague, Hunger, and the book is based around whatever the title of the book is. So in Hunger, food's running out. Plague, there's an illness that was taking out all the kids inside the dome. But like it's very much similar to the first one in a way that once again we're following these kids who are trying to survive the adults, and it doesn't seem like there's anything new yet. It's meant to be a prequel, and I get that, and I get that it's going to be similar because it's a virus that's doing the same thing, and it's a virus that's basically taking all the people over the age of 14 and turning them into zombies. I get that. That's like the baseline of this book series. However, I do feel like, I don't know, I was expecting something more. I know we're only 60 pages in, but I feel like I was so much more gripped in the last one. Hopefully I can finish The Dead pretty soon, but again, as it's such a slow burn, I find myself reading it for 5 minutes and I put it down. A few days later, I'm on track with this book finally. I've really got into it. I think I forgot with The Enemy, they obviously have to set up storylines. So in The Enemy, as I said, there was 3 storylines, so it was like really engaging. In this book, there was 1 storyline, then there were 2, and now there's 1. I'm currently at page 171, so we've definitely progressed. I've read about 100 pages since I last spoke to you guys. Basically almost halfway through, I think halfway through will be about, yeah, it's 450 pages. So that works out at 225 will be the halfway. As I said, 171. So far we have been introduced to a new type of zombie, a new type of the enemy. I don't want to say found, but the boys have had an encounter with, so that's the teenagers. So this is like the ages between 15 and 19 of the enemy, the zombie, the diseased. And they're a lot stronger, they're a lot faster, they are more deadly than the adults because they have so much more energy, so they're just more ruthless. I think we've started to watch an adult go from not having anything to getting a disease, but we did see that in the enemy as well. So it's just kind of like, it makes you like have that heart-dropping moment where you go, wait, what? Oh no, we've seen this before. Again, plot armor, there is none. There are so many characters in this that you get used to, and then not as many as the first one. The first one had like no plot armor. In this one, you get used to a character for a little while and then they die and you're like, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Like, you just get used to a character and then they die and it's like, why? So yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. I'm gonna read some more tonight, see how far I can get into it, but yeah, I'm very much hooked on it. When I get into a book, it's literally like watching a film for me, so very much hooked. I'm gonna read some more. So I've just come in to do a little check-in. My hair looks a little bit crazy. I'm on page 285, so over halfway through. I'm really enjoying this book. It's really good. I love the little skeletons in the corner. Like, it's just such a good book. Not just because of the skeletons, but I'm really enjoying it now. There's actually like high stakes. Things are happening and you're actually there like, oh my god, wait, what? So I'm very much now enjoying it quite a lot. I think these books, they just take a while to get into them because, not a while, but like a couple chapters. I think it took me about 100 pages to like completely feel like I really got into this book. Like, it like sets the scene and everything. But I'm really enjoying it so far. There's been a few deaths, a lot of shocks. I think we're on the 3rd shock right now since I last spoke to you. So that's really good. With these books, I've noticed that the spines don't crack. So you have, let me put a bookmark in. You have this thing with like a flop test on TikTok. If you've seen it, you'll know what I'm on about. If you haven't, you have no clue. But basically a flop test is where you see how floppy the book is. So this is very floppy, as you can see. I've got no cracks down the spine, but I don't care about that really, but it's just super satisfying because I can have the book fully open like this and the spine is still straight. Like, it just doesn't crack, these ones, because the books are quite floppy, whereas my other books, like for instance Icebreaker, that cracked a lot. Right, I'm gonna go read some more of this book. Hopefully I can get a good solid way further into this book. It's only about 8:30, 9 o'clock right now, so I've got a while anyway. I don't particularly find these books sad, like I never have done, but this happened last time. My favourite characters always die in these books because they're just, I'm actually really sad, and like, I'm really sad basically. In the first one, in The Enemy, one of my favourite characters died, like my actual favourite character, and I was so upset. And now my other favourite characters died in this book, and I genuinely just like went like this with the book, and I went, no! Like, I'm not okay with it. This book is just, it's really good. But you know when you get so attached to characters, and like I loved the Gone series, but I can't lie, there was a little bit of plot armor. Like, none of the main characters really died until like the last book. In these books, like the main characters you get so attached to, and then the main ones, like I'm on about, like, you got movies like Harry Potter and you've got the main 3 characters, Ron, Hermione and Harry. And in these books, it's those characters that die first, and just really sad. And it's so emotional because it's this like, it's obviously like a disease, and it just takes whoever, and these creatures are making people's lives hell and killing people. And it's just the character's interaction with one of their friends, and it was just this interaction they said to each other, and basically the friend ended up passing away. And it was just like so beautiful the way that the friend who wasn't passing away was trying to make the friend who was dying's last moments a little bit more manageable, saying like, you're my best friend and you always will be. And it's just like, that's what they've come to. Like, they're kids at the end of the day. All these people left are kids, they're all under the age of 14, and they're friends and family. I already did all this bloody crying when I did that, reading 7 emotional books in 7 days. I don't know why I'm crying at this. It's meant to be a dystopian action-packed book. That's this whole video is meant to be just action-packed books that are meant to get me in the autumn mood, like dystopian stuff. Alright, it's the next day. I've got a heatless curler in. That's why my hair looks like I'm from freaking Renaissance period. The book. I finished the book last night, but it was way too late for me to be like talking about it and actually explain my opinions. So the book, I would rate a solid 4.5 stars. Wow. So initially I was like, this book's really slow, it's just a replica of the first book. No, it was brilliant. So this book I found amazing. Once you got about 100 pages in, the pace picked up on like a different level. So this book focused on it's a prequel to the first book. So this book is about the kids trying to figure out what they're going to call these zombie adults who have been infected. They're trying to figure out at what age does everybody turn, because it's like selective. You don't know when you're going to turn, and once you get past the age of 14, it's a hit and miss whether or not you're going to become one. And basically it's a matter of time of when you're going to become one, not if, because everybody becomes one in this so far as I've seen. There was so many plot lines. We had revenge, we had friendships, we had the goodbye scene, which destroyed me, with "you'll always be my best friend." That absolutely destroyed me. We had shock deaths, which I just was not expecting. Introduced to David King, who is in the first book. David King is the guy who runs the Buckingham Palace Kids. If you've seen the book, if you've seen the first one, and we were introduced to David King because in the first one, it kind of ends with there's something not quite right with the whole situation, and we don't know anything about David King in the first one. In this book, we got introduced a bit more into who David King was and like where he came from and how he managed to get this group of people. We also found out about the Tower of London squad. So the Tower of London group were in the first book. At the very end, we saw the Tower of London group, and in this book, we found out who the Tower of London group was. And I just found it so good the way that it was like, the way that they showed us who they were. I'd say the last quarter was so fast paced. I was like on the edge of my seat because anybody could die. Stuck between these two, I'm not sure which one to read. So I've got the Fifth Wave and the Shatter. So both of these are series. This one I think is a 3-part series, and this one is quite a big series actually. I've got all the series, and then there are novellas as well to get. This one's a lot thinner than this one, so I'm not sure which one to start. The Fifth Wave. You want to read it? By the way, I've got a little basket on my bedside table, and this is where I put my books that I need to read next to get me into the reading mood. Okay, yeah, I'm going to start this book now. So this book is The Fifth Wave by Yancey, and this is the next I'm going to start. Hello, it's the next day. No, it's not. It's the same day. I've started reading The Fifth Wave and I just want to talk about my opinions because I thought this was going to be similar to the End series, so the last book I read, which was The Dead. I was wrong. So let's sit and talk about this for a minute. The Dead was more like zombies and that sort of like, there's an apocalypse and it's creepy, but it's not exactly terrifying. It's like weird and you do sit there and you're reading it and you're like, oh my god, this is insane. This book is just effing scary right now. So this book is more aliens. So aliens have invaded, we're thrown straight into the scene and we're following this girl Cassie and she's on her own. She knows that you can't trust anybody. The aliens look like humans but they're not, and they've got one objective and that's to kill everybody. That is terrifying because right now like we don't even know why, whereas with the Dead we knew why. They wanted to eat. Like these zombies were still people and they craved children to eat, and it was to keep them going, keep them alive. This one, aliens have invaded England. Aliens have invaded the world of Earth. They didn't talk for like 3 days straight when they arrived and they wouldn't have contact with anybody. Wiped out half of the population. That is so scary. Like, I don't want to say like the idea of aliens scares me because it really doesn't. Like if I think about things that I'm scared of, you don't necessarily think of like aliens. Like I don't think of aliens when I think of things that terrify me, but this book is scaring me a little bit because it's just, oh, it's so like far-fetched, but the things that are happening are things that could happen. And it's scaring me a little bit. My brown Crazy Horse Doc Martens on, my white Doc Marten socks basically, and some black leggings. I just think it's quite a cute autumnal outfit. I'm hoping I can get through a good solid half of it today. I'm very much hooked, but the day again is very dreary. It's very cold. It was warm earlier. I went to the garden centre for a bit. And I was like, oh, I'm in a jumper, like I'm gonna be too hot. And then literally within about 20 minutes, the temperature dropped. And I was like, no, I'm fine. The smartest guys in the world was wrong. It wasn't about saving us. It wasn't about enslaving us or herding us into reservations. It was about killing us. All of us. That's creepy. Like these aliens have no other objective than just to kill you for no reason, like a reason unknown. I know later when she does meet somebody, because that's what it says on the back of it, that she'll meet somebody. Terrified. Okay, little update. I'm on page 235. I was right with what I said. It is incredibly dark. What happened right now is we know what the aliens are. I don't quite know who the enemy is. I know the aliens are the enemy, but I'm also unsure because it seems like there is an enemy on the inside, like one of the humans. Like, I don't know if it's the army or if it's the soldiers. I don't know. There's something shifty based on things that have happened. There's also a romance in here, which I was not expecting. So we've met Evan, what's his last name? It's on the back of the book. Evan Walker. And he's great. I love him, not gonna lie. But I didn't expect this to be like a little romance in there. Like I just wasn't expecting it. From the way she was talking about him, the way she was feeling, I was like, Cassie, what's happening here? Every time there's one of these black pages, so I'll show you for example one of these, it's a new person's perspective. So we had the first black page after Cassie's point of view, and it was from a guy's perspective who we do get to see more of later on. Then the next black page happened, and I don't know if we went back to Cassie's perspective. I think we might have done. We also saw the perspective of somebody who's working, or no, who is an alien. There are so many side stories. So far we've got Cassie's story, we've got Evan's. I haven't had Evan's perspective though, so I don't quite know, you know, what's going on in his head, but I know who he is. I know what his like motives are and everything. So I had the perspective of one of the guys who's a soldier. We have the perspective of an alien. We've got the perspective of Cassie's brother, Sam's. They're just kids. Like, they're actually just young people who are left over because there's just such a little, small amount of population left in the world. They're trying to like build up the ranks. But I don't know what they're building up the ranks for. Like, I don't know what it's like getting prepared for. I feel like it's getting prepped for something, but I don't know what it's getting prepped for. Mini update. I am on page 321 and I've decided I'm going to finish this book today. I've got 136 pages left to read, and wow, the twists and turns in this book are phenomenal. I really love them. We just had a plot twist and I was in shock. I was actually like, wait, what? Like, I did not see it coming, and the way the characters realised, like, they didn't realise the plot twist because they didn't know it was a plot twist, but the way the characters realised the reality, I thought, this is strange, this is too easy. I was like, it doesn't make sense. And then when the plot twist happened, I was like, oh my god. Cassie's story, and then we've got Ben's story, who seem to be like the main characters really. I'm actually just in shock at the plot twist. I have no idea how this is going to end, and there's 136 pages left, and I don't know how they're going to end it in like so little pages, but it is safe to say I feel the same way I felt when I read the Gone series, and that series, and whenever I talk about a book series, that book series is the book series I compare every book series to. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. I finished the book and I'm not okay. Thank god it's bloody 10 o'clock at night and I'm taking my makeup off because I just ruined my face. Like, the stakes were so high and like I wasn't expecting to enjoy that book so much. Like, I was really invested in the characters and there was a love story in amongst it all, and it was just beautiful, and the way that everything happened, the ending and everything, it was really perfect. I really enjoyed it. From where I left you guys, I said that there was like a big plot twist and it was insane. So like we found out more about the soldiers and the truth about everything, and the way that it unraveled, like it was done in such a good pace, and it was like, oh, I'm just so sad. I just didn't expect something to have happened at the end, that's all. I thought it's gonna be a big happy ending, and I was bloody wrong, and I'm just devastated. I'm crying over words on a page, like when you know it's a 5-star book, it's when it like makes you feel all the emotions. That was a 5-star book for me. And I literally never see anyone talk about this book. I saw it when I was in high school. This was popular. I was like literally like 4 or 5 years ago, and I really enjoyed that book. It was really good. 5-star read for me. Read it in 2 days, started yesterday, finished it today. Read most of it today. I'm just not okay. I might start Shatter later. I need some good shows to cheer me up now because I'm just devastated. Anyway, really good book. 5 stars. Definitely recommend, and I can't wait to read the 2nd and the 3rd. I'll be reading them at night so that when I cry it'll be at the same time like now, so I can take my makeup off and everything will be fine. I did Shatter Me. I'm on page 54 so far. So far I'm enjoying it. I wasn't sure what to expect, and so far I am really enjoying it. It's good so far. Very different to the other 2 books I've read as of right now, but I am enjoying it, as I said. Like, so far, the main character, Juliet, she's been held in captivity for almost a year, and she's never spoken to somebody, and all of a sudden one day she's got a cellmate, and this cellmate isn't who she thinks he is, and she basically gets asked to be recruited into something. I don't know what it is yet, and she's got this gift or a curse, and I think basically if she touches people, it hurts them, like torturous. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's really interesting so far. I am liking it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it isn't as, I'm not as enthralled as other books, but I'm enthralled in a different way. Like, I feel like this is like setting up the series. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes and I'm gonna be honest, I am flying through this book. So I have been reading this book for just under an hour and I'm already on page 102. This book is quite short as well, so definitely gonna get through it relatively quickly. There are 329 pages. 329 pages and 102, and I've been reading for less than an hour. Juliet is an interesting character, but so is Warner and Adam, and the whole dynamic is very interesting. And like the whole dystopian world, the setting, the way it's been described, it's pretty decent. I am enjoying it. I'm interested. Wow, I'm an oily mess. Hello, today was move-in day, so I'm back in my flat, and there'll be a few videos in my flat from now on because reading blogs I can do on the go. I've been reading Shatter, and I've got 20 pages left. I've read it all today. I read it in the car, I read 170 pages, and then I've just been sat reading it now. I love this book. So many people said this is a slow book and like it's just getting into the series, it's really slow. No, it's not. It's really fast paced. So much happens. I love Adam and I love, oh, what's her name? Juliet and Kenji and James. So cute. And I think I'm gonna like Castle. Castle seems like a pretty decent guy. Yes, so this book is about, it's kind of like the Hunger Games. So civilization's different. The world is basically at its end and people have no food, there is no crops, the weather's terrible, people are dying, and there's like this re-establishment who are like the government and they have everything for themselves, they're rich and they torture people and kill people who are trying to rebel against it. And there's a resistance, and Juliet is somebody who has a gift or a curse she sees it as, and if she touches anybody she kills them basically if she holds them for too long or touches them for too long. And it's like torture and she feels this energy from it, but it really hurts them and basically kills them. Good. So far I'm really enjoying it. It is giving Hunger Games, but not in a way that the games are. It's the stuff outside, like in the districts. That's what it's reminding me of. But there isn't any like districts or anything. Everyone's just trying to survive. That's the main thing. So yeah, really enjoying it. 20 pages left and then I'll rate it. And I've actually got the second one there. Wow, I need to sit you guys down so I can talk to you. This book. So I wasn't expecting tons from Shatter because everyone said that it was like really slow and it's not the best out of the series. I really liked it. I love the character Juliet. I think she's a great character. I really, really like her. I love the descriptions in this book. I feel like the way that characters are described, it's in a way that they give you enough detail that you can imagine them, like the dreadlocks on Castle, and about what's he called, Kenji, like they're saying his last name and everything, and the way that what his name is, you know where he's from and everything. I feel like they give you enough information that you can figure out in your head what you think they look like, but not too much information, so like it's definitely how they are telling you that they look. You have some freedom in your head, you've got to be quite imaginative. I like that. I'm not going to reveal too much, but in the end she realises that she's not alone. And I loved it. The ending was perfect because it ends it in a good way that you want to read on, but you're okay with how it ended. Like you're not on the edge of your seat like, oh my god, which is great sometimes, but sometimes you do want a book to end nicely and then start the next one fresh. So the next one is Unravel Me. There are novellas. I will be reading the novellas, but I'm getting them in November, so I'm going to carry on and read the rest of the series. The novellas are apparently just the books before them, but just from different perspectives, so I can go back and read them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'd give this a solid 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. 4.5 stars out of 5. Thoroughly enjoyed. Really enjoyed it. I loved it. And I'll put a full review on Goodreads. It's always linked in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Hope you've enjoyed. So, see you guys next time. Subscribe to all the stuff and see you guys later.